Love others as yourself, living with a compassionate heart. Every day, love your neighbor as yourself. These words, spoken by Jesus in Matthew 22:39, aren't just a command. They're a heartbeat, a way of living, a light to guide us through this broken world. Imagine for a moment, what if every step you took, every word you spoke, every hand you reached out was filled with the same love you hold for yourself? What if you saw every soul, the stranger on the street, the friend in need, even the one who's hurt you, as a reflection of God's creation, worthy of compassion? Today, I invite you into a journey of living with a compassionate heart every single day. This isn't just a nice idea, it's a calling. It's God's voice whispering to you, "My child, love as I love. Let's walk this path together." Love your neighbor as yourself. These words from Jesus in Matthew 22:39 aren't just a gentle suggestion, they're a divine mirror held up to your soul. Stop for a moment and let them wash over you. What does it mean to love someone as you love yourself? It's not a fleeting thought or a passing kindness. It's a deep, unshakable call to see every person, every weary, wandering, wonderful soul as a reflection of you, as a child of God, as someone woven from the same tender hands that shaped your being. This is where love begins, in the quiet, sacred space where you recognize your own worth and then turn that recognition outward like a lantern lighting up the dark. Think about yourself for a second. Yes, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, as Psalm 139:14 declares. God crafted you with intention, with love, with a spark of His own divinity. When you stumble, you offer yourself grace. When you're tired, you seek rest. When you dream, you nurture hope. Now imagine giving that same grace, that same rest, that same hope to the person next to you. The mother struggling with her crying child in the grocery store. The old man sitting alone on a park bench, his eyes tracing memories you'll never know. The teenager with a sharp tongue hiding a heart full of hurt. They're not so different from you. They're not other. They're yours to love, just as you are God's to cherish. Let's go back to a story Jesus told us in Luke 10, the Good Samaritan. Picture it. A man lies bleeding on a dusty road, robbed, beaten, abandoned. His breath is shallow, his hope fading. People pass by, a priest, a Levite, men you'd expect to help, but they don't. They glance, they hesitate, they walk away. Then comes a Samaritan, a man despised by society, an outsider with no reason to care. Yet he stops. He kneels beside this stranger, his hands trembling as he binds the wounds. He lifts him onto his donkey, his own journey delayed. He pays for a room, a meal, a chance at healing, all for someone he doesn't even know. Why? Because in that broken body he saw himself. He saw a soul worthy of love just as he was. That's the heart of God beating through him, and it's the heart He longs to awaken in you. Now close your eyes for a moment. Think of someone you've passed by. Maybe it was yesterday, that homeless woman with a cardboard sign, her face weathered by more than just the sun. Or last week, that coworker who snapped at you, their voice sharp but their eyes tired. Or even years ago, a friend who drifted away and you let them go without a word. Who are they to you? Strangers? Annoyances? Problems to avoid? No, my dear friend. They're mirrors. They reflect your own struggles, your own longings, your own need for mercy. Jesus didn't say love the perfect ones or love the ones who deserve it. He said love your neighbor, the messy, the hurting, the ones who don't always make it easy, because that's who you are too, and God loves you still. This isn't just about feeling sorry for people. Pity keeps its distance, but love steps in close. It's the difference between tossing a coin from your car window and sitting down to hear someone's story. It's the difference between a polite nod and a warm embrace. Love sees, love feels, love acts. Think of how Jesus walked this earth. He didn't just preach from a hilltop, he touched lepers when others recoiled. He dined with tax collectors when others sneered. He looked into the eyes of a woman caught in sin and said, "You are enough," John 8:11. He saw himself in them, his humanity, his divinity, his Father's fingerprints, and he calls you to see the same. So I ask you today, who have you overlooked? Whose pain have you ignored? Whose worth have you dismissed? Take a moment right now and picture their face. Maybe it's someone you know. Maybe it's a stranger you've yet to meet. Feel the weight of their day, the exhaustion in their shoulders, the quiet ache in their chest. They're not so far from you. They hunger for the same things you do, a kind word, a second chance, a glimmer of hope. And you, beloved, have the power to give it. Not because you're perfect, but because you're His. God placed you here in this moment to be His hands, His voice, His heart. This is where love takes root, in the simple, holy act of seeing yourself in others. It's not always easy. Your neighbor might be loud, rude, ungrateful. They might not look like you, think like you, live like you, but they're yours to love anyway. Galatians 3:28 reminds us, "There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." In His eyes, we're family, bound by His love, called to share it. So start today. Open your eyes wider. Soften your heart deeper. Look at the world as Jesus does, with compassion that sees beyond the surface. With love that says, "I know you, I feel you, I'm here." That's the heart of love, and it's yours to live right now. Love your neighbor as yourself. Oh, how beautifully these words unfold when we let kindness carry them into the world. Kindness, it's the soft whisper of God's love, the gentle touch of His grace, the quiet strength that can lift a soul from the ashes. You don't need to move mountains or part seas to live this love. Sometimes it's in the smallest acts, a smile that says, "I see you," a word that soothes a wound, a moment given when no one else would stop. Proverbs 16:24 tells us, "Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones." That's the power you hold, the power to heal, to restore, to shine His light with every tender gesture. Picture this. Jesus, the Savior of the world, kneeling before His disciples in John 13. The room is hushed, the air heavy with the weight of what's to come. He takes a basin of water, a towel, and He begins to wash their feet, dusty, calloused, unworthy feet. Peter protests, "Lord, no, not you." But Jesus looks up with those eyes full of mercy and says, "If I don't wash you, you have no part with me." And in that simple act, He shows us what love looks like, not lofty or loud, but humble, close, real. He didn't need to do it, He chose to. He loved them as Himself, serving them in their lowliest moment. And in that quiet service, He changed their hearts forever. That's kindness, small in the eyes of the world, but mighty in the hands of God. Now think about your own life. You walk through a world full of people carrying burdens you can't always see. The cashier at the store, her hands tremble as she scans your groceries, her shift stretching into the 10th hour. The child on the playground, he sits alone, his laughter silenced by a sadness too big for his small frame. The neighbor next door, she hides behind a brave smile, but her eyes tell of sleepless nights. They're all around you, waiting for a glimpse of God's love. And you, my dear friend, can be that glimpse. You don't need wealth or wisdom or grand plans. You need only a heart willing to give what it has. A moment, a kindness, a piece of heaven wrapped in human hands. I've seen it myself, how a single act can ripple through a life. A friend once told me about a day she felt invisible, crushed by grief after losing her mother. She stood in line at a coffee shop, barely holding it together when the stranger ahead of her turned and said, "Let me buy your coffee today." No big speech, no fanfare, just a cup of warmth and a smile. That small kindness didn't erase her pain, but it reminded her she wasn't alone. She carried that moment with her, a tiny spark that grew into hope. Years later, she told me she still prays for that stranger, still passes on that kindness to others. One act, one fleeting choice, and it echoed through time. That's the miracle of love lived out loud. So what about you? Where can you plant these seeds of kindness today? It doesn't take much. Hold the door for someone whose arms are full. Speak a gentle thank you to the worker who's been overlooked. Sit with the person no one else notices and listen, really listen to their story. These aren't grand things, but oh, how they matter. Jesus said in Matthew 25:40, "Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Every kind word, every outstretched hand, every moment you choose love over indifference, it's as if you're reaching out to Him. You're washing His feet, feeding His lambs, loving Him in the faces of those around you. This is my challenge to you, and it comes straight from the heart of God. Don't let today pass without one act of kindness. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity or the perfect person. The opportunity is now, and the person is whoever crosses your path. Maybe it's a note left for your spouse saying, "You're enough, bam. Maybe it's a meal shared with someone hungry, no questions asked. Maybe it's a prayer whispered for a stranger you'll never meet again. Do it. Not because they've earned it, but because God's love flows through you freely, abundantly, endlessly. Romans 5:5 says God's love has been poured out into our hearts. Let it spill over. Let it touch someone today. Kindness isn't weak. It's not passive. It's a force, a holy, transformative force that can soften the hardest heart, brighten the darkest day, mend the deepest crack. You felt it, haven't you? That time someone saw you when you felt invisible, spoke to you when you felt unheard, held you when you felt unlovable. That was God reaching through them to you. Now it's your turn to be His vessel. You don't have to fix everything. You can't. But you can start something, a ripple of grace that spreads beyond your sight, beyond your knowing, into eternity. So take this to heart. Your kindness matters. It's not small in His eyes. It's a song of love sung in the everyday, a melody that echoes His voice saying, "You are mine, and so are they." Step out today with a compassionate heart. Look for the one who needs you, the weary, the lonely, the forgotten, and give them a taste of heaven. That's the power of kindness. It doesn't just lift them, it lifts you closer to Him. Start now, beloved. Let your life be a living prayer of love, one sweet act at a time. Love your neighbor as yourself. These words from Matthew 22:39 carry a sweetness that can pierce the soul. But oh, how they challenge us when love meets pain. Life isn't always a garden of roses. People wound us. They break our trust, shatter our hopes, leave us bleeding with words or silence. And yet Jesus calls us to love, not just the easy ones, but the hard ones too. The ones who've hurt us, betrayed us, turned their backs on us. How do we do that? Through forgiveness, a love so deep, so divine, it reaches beyond the ache and into the heart of God. This isn't just a choice, beloved, it's a sacred gift, a reflection of the mercy He's poured over you. Let's sit with this for a moment. Think of the cross, the ultimate picture of love beyond pain. Jesus hung there, His body torn, His breath fading, surrounded by mockers and murderers. He could have cursed them, He could have called down fire from heaven. But what did He say? "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," Luke 23:34. In His darkest hour, He chose love, not because they deserved it, but because His heart couldn't hold anything less. He loved them as Himself, even as they drove nails through His hands. That's the love He offers us, and the love He asks us to give. It's not easy, it's not fair, but it's holy. Now turn that gaze inward. Who's hurt you? Who's left a scar on your heart? Maybe it's a friend who stabbed you with gossip, their words cutting deeper than you thought possible. Maybe it's a parent who walked away, leaving you with questions no child should have to carry. Maybe it's a spouse whose promises crumbled, leaving you to pick up the pieces alone. Feel that pain. It's real, it's raw, it's yours. Your instinct is to build walls, to lock them out, to let bitterness take root. I've been there too, clutching my wounds, whispering, "They don't deserve my love." But then I hear his voice, soft and steady, "Neither did you, and yet I gave it." Forgiveness isn't about erasing the hurt. It's not pretending the wound never happened or letting someone off the hook they don't even see. It's about loosening the chains, the ones binding you to anger, to resentment, to a past you can't change. Colossians 3:13 says, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." As he forgave you, oh, what a weight those words carry. You've stumbled, haven't you? You've fallen short, broken promises, hurt others, and yet every time, his arms open wide. His grace washes you clean. He loves you as himself, not because you've earned it, but because you're his. Now he asks you to share that same grace. I remember a story of a woman I once met. Her brother had betrayed her, stolen money she'd saved for years, lied to her face, disappeared without a word. She carried that betrayal like a stone in her chest, heavy and cold. For years, she refused to speak his name. But one day, in the quiet of prayer, she felt God nudge her heart. "Forgive him," he whispered. She fought it. "He doesn't deserve it, Lord." But the whisper grew louder, gentler. "Neither did you." She wept, and in that moment she let go. She didn't call him. She didn't need to. She forgave him in her soul, and the stone melted away. She told me later, "I didn't just free him, I freed myself." That's the miracle of forgiveness. It's a gift you give yourself as much as them. So who do you need to forgive today? Take a moment right now and let their name rise in your mind. See their face. Feel the sting they left behind. It hurts, doesn't it? But listen, you don't have to carry it anymore. Forgiveness doesn't mean they were right. It doesn't mean you forget. It means you choose love over hate, peace over poison. It's saying, "I see your brokenness and I have mine too. I release you to God just as he's released me." Ephesians 4:32 says, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as in Christ God forgave you." That's your calling, to love them as yourself, flaws and all, because he loves you that way too. This is hard, I know. Your heart might tremble at the thought. You might think they'll never change, or they'll hurt me again. Maybe they will, but forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you and him. It's about trusting God to heal what they broke, to hold what you can't. Picture this. You laying that burden at his feet, whispering, "Lord, I can't, but you can." And he does. He takes it. The pain, the anger, the tears, and trades it for peace. That's love beyond pain. A love that flows from his heart through yours, washing away the bitterness one drop at a time. Here's my plea to you. Don't wait. Today, choose one person you've held captive in your hurt. Speak their name in prayer, out loud or in the silence of your soul. Ask God to soften your heart, to show you their humanity, to fill you with his mercy. You don't have to confront them. You don't have to fix them. Just forgive them as he's forgiven you. Feel that release. That's freedom. That's love rising above the wreckage, singing a song of grace. It's not weakness, it's strength, his strength shining through you. Start now, beloved. Let forgiveness be your offering and watch how it brings you closer to the heart of God. Love your neighbor as yourself. Oh, how these words from Matthew 22:39 bloom into something breathtaking when we let them take root in our daily lives. This isn't a love for special occasions, a holiday gift, or a Sunday sermon. No, this is a love that breathes, a love that walks with you from the moment your eyes open each morning to the quiet hush of night. It's a choice, a prayer, a way of being that says, "Lord, let me carry your compassion today. 1 John 4:16 whispers to us, God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God. To live this every day is to abide in Him, to let your heart become a sanctuary where His grace flows freely, touching every soul you meet. Imagine waking up tomorrow with this on your lips, Father, fill me with your love today. Picture it, the sun barely peeking over the horizon, your feet touching the floor, your heart lifting in quiet surrender. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be willing to see the world through His eyes, to let His tenderness guide your hands, your words, your steps. This is what it means to live with a compassionate heart every day, not as a burden, but as a gift, a holy rhythm that beats in time with His. Think of Jesus, how He lived this love in the ordinary. He didn't wait for grand moments to show compassion. He stopped for the blind beggar crying out on the roadside, Mark 10:46-52. He paused for the woman who touched His cloak, desperate for healing, Mark 5:25-34. He sat with children when others shooed them away, Matthew 19:14. His days were woven with these threads of kindness, not because He had to, but because He couldn't help it. His heart was so full of His Father's love that it spilled over into every encounter. That's the life He invites you into, a life where love isn't an event but a constant, gentle presence. Now bring this home to you. Your days are full of chances to live this love. Small, sacred openings where God whispers, "Hear my child, shine for me." It's in the chaos of your morning commute, the driver who cuts you off, his face tense with hurry. Instead of a curse, offer a prayer. Lord, give him peace. It's at work, the colleague who's sharp with you, her voice hiding stress you can't see. Instead of snapping back, ask, "Are you okay?" It's at home, the child who spills juice, the spouse who forgets a promise. Instead of frustration, choose a smile, a hand to help, a word of grace. These moments aren't interruptions. They're invitations to love as yourself, to see yourself in them, to let God's sweetness flow through you. I think of Mother Teresa, a woman who lived this every day. She didn't have riches or titles. She had a heart transformed by God's love. She walked the streets of Calcutta, her hands cradling lepers, her arms holding orphans, her eyes seeing Jesus in every face. She once said, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love." That's your calling too. Not to change the world in one sweep, but to change it one heartbeat at a time. She didn't wait for perfect days or easy people. She loved in the dirt, in the pain, in the everyday, and through her, God's light reached the forgotten. You have that same power, beloved, the power to be His love in the ordinary. But let's be real, this isn't always easy. Some days you'll falter. You'll wake up tired, your patience thin, your heart heavy. You'll pass by someone in need because you're too rushed to stop. You'll speak harshly when you meant to comfort. I've been there, those mornings when my own worries drown out His voice, when I choose myself over my neighbor. That's okay. You're human, and His grace is bigger than your stumbles. Psalm 103:8 reminds us, "The Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love." He doesn't demand perfection. He asks for your willingness. When you fall, get up, whisper, "Lord, help me try again." And He will, every time. So here's how you live it. Start each day with Him. Before the world rushes in, sit with God even for a minute. Say, "Father, let me love as you love today." Carry that prayer into every corner of your life. The grocery store line where someone's short $1, the park where a stranger looks lost, the kitchen where your family waits. See every person as a chance to reflect His light. Not because you're strong, but because He is. You'll mess up, yes, but don't stop. Love isn't about never failing, it's about never quitting. Each step, each try, each small act transforms your heart a little more, molding it to His. This is my gentle challenge to you. Today, begin. Wake tomorrow with a prayer for compassion. Look for one moment, just one, to love your neighbor as yourself. Maybe it's a kind word to the mail carrier who's drenched in rain. Maybe it's a listening ear for a friend who's hurting. Maybe it's a silent blessing for the person who'll never know. Do it faithfully, day after day, and watch what happens. Your heart will soften. Your eyes will open. Your life will become a living testament to His love, not loud, not perfect, but real. That's the beauty of living it every day. Yeah, you don't just give love, you become it. Start now, dear one. Let your transformed heart be His home, and let it shine. Love your neighbor as yourself. It's more than words, it's a life. It's God's gentle hand guiding you to see, to feel, to act with a compassionate heart. Today, I urge you, don't let this moment pass. Look around, the world is aching for love. You have it to give. You are His vessel, His light, His love made flesh. Start now. Smile at someone who needs it. Forgive someone who doesn't expect it. Serve someone who can't repay you. Let every day be a canvas where you paint His kindness, His mercy, His grace. You won't be perfect, but you'll be His, and that's enough. As Psalm 23:6 promises, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Let that goodness and mercy flow through you to others. Love them as yourself and watch how God transforms the world, one heart at a time, starting with yours.